Welcome to 2026 JCal Universe, and to kick off this year, I'm going to be doing effectively the thing that got me on the ball as far as my audience and redoing designs of already established characters from a piece of media that is widely not liked. And in this case, we're going to be redrawing video game characters from a very critically panned video game, and that video game series being the Cheetahmen. Before we commence with the speed paint, I would like to give my salutations to the cyberspace. Welcome to the JCal Arts channel. I do Let's Draws where I have a speed paint and I give a voiceover talking about the drawing and anything related to it. So if that interests you, think about subscribing, like, and comment as well, and join the JCal universe. So now that we have got the preamble out the way, we can get on to the drawing. I'm going to go on a brief tangent about the Cheetahmen series just to set up context for the drawing portion of today's Let's Draw, so bear with me, and I'm going to use Wikipedia as a source because I can't find a lot of official information about the Cheetahmen in general. So, the Cheetahmen series is created by Active Enterprises. It's a video game series originally, with the first game being released in 1991 on the NES, and that is where it became infamous for being one of the worst games ever created. And anyone who's played the game, especially around that time, you can give us the deets about the bad game in the comment section. But Active Enterprises decided to go with the Cheetahmen 2 anyway, but stopped halfway through development of Cheetahmen 2. But the cartridges containing the game somehow got to the public, and there was basically fans of Cheetahmen trying to create a patch to fix the bugs of Cheetahmen 2 and see parts of the game that players weren't able to access. And there was talks of a Cheetahmen 3, but Cheetahmen 3 got canceled as well. So Cheetahmen have had a rough video game outing. And as far as lore, it's clear they took inspiration from TMNT. This is a 90s property after all, so the TMNT craze was the thing. Basically, these are cheetah furries who were created by evil scientists that murdered their mom, and they decide to turn against the man because, yeah, if you murder my mom, I'm gonna obviously not want to be with you and work with you, and they have to stop him. So there you go. The redesigned train is going to start with the Leo of the cheetah trio, Apollo. And the Cheetahmen officially are named after Greek philosophers, which I feel hits a little too close to being an obvious reference to the turtles being named after Italian Renaissance painters. So the first change to all of them will be their names, and I'm going to name them after Zulu kings who are brothers in real life. And so Apollo is now Shaka. He still wields a crossbow because that is a weapon that is indigenous to certain African tribes. And he still is the leader, but as far as personality, I'm going to fill in the blanks because at least I can't find any lore information about these three cheetah men personality-wise, so anyone who does, you can let me know in the comment section. But I see Shaka here being basically a combination of like Leo and Ralph. Like, he definitely is the leader and the most well-adjusted, but he's also a sarcastic, naggy type of person. And you can see me drawing him, I'm giving him that side eye, like he's kind of like a naggy bitch. He a jaded mofo, but yeah, he's just a sassy archerer leading the other two brothers who can sometimes give him trouble and be a rowdy bunch. So yeah, I thought that would be fun. So another change Shaka and his brothers are going to have is their fur colors being more of a brown color to look more like cheetahs, you know. So I understand this is a TMNT ripoff series, so bright colors, and that makes the kids who these series are aimed at go gimme, 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 but we're not under that obligation here in today's Let's Draw. So they have more of a brown color to their fur, and they have black eye drop markings that cheetahs have. And I basically decided to go with their outfits with the concept of He-Man meets Zulu warrior. So they're all wearing loincloths, and then they have little trinkets here and there to make them stand out. And with Shaka here, I decided to give him this chest piece, like worn around the shoulders, that many Zulu men wear when they're wearing like traditional Zulu warrior attire. And I made that piece blue, as well as parts of his loincloth as well, because Apollo is seen having blue on his person, you know, that's his color, so Shaka is going to have blue as well, be his color. And yeah, I don't have much more else to say about Shaka other than he's here. So the design train moves on to the next cheetah, Aries, who I'm going to call Diangane. And if you're a Zulu speaking person, let me know if I'm saying that name right, because I'm naming him after the king that ruled after Shaka in real life. Now, unfortunately, Diangane, the Zulu king in real life, murdered Shaka to become Zulu king next, but I'm calling my cheetah Diangane to reference the rivalry he has with his brother Shaka, the cheetah. So these two butt heads because they have clashing personalities. As I established, Shaka is more of a laid-back, sarcastic, detached type of person who has the leadership role because he's balanced the best out of the trio of brothers. Whereas Diangane is, this aggressive, angry little manlet because as you can see in the drawing, Diangane is short and he has a Napoleon complex and feels the need to constantly prove himself, and that insecurity drives a lot of his anger and also his intense training and him being the best fighter and physical combatant out of the three brothers. I decided to go this direction with Diangane's personality because Aries, the cheetah man in official lore, is obsessed with martial arts movies that he watched from The Evil Scientist Who Killed His Mom. Okay. But, he's clearly meant to be the fighter. He likes to fight and, the honors in the battle or whatever. That's the impression I get. So Diangane also likes to fight. He fights with Zulu clubs and they're called this. And I'm sorry for any Southern African person. I can't pronounce that with my American ASS. But, he's basically the same thing, but in a different light, where he is just very insecure about his short height and insecure in general, and that tends to build a lot of resentment and anger, and that's what makes him not fit to be leader. And you see kind of the parallels between him and Shaka as well. Shaka fights with a crossbow, so he prefers to keep his distance and is chill, while Diangane is aggressive and fights with clubs, so he's going to club a BITCH in your face. And, he has kind of a little mohawk for a hairstyle, afro mohawk, and his chest piece, I don't know what it's called, but it exposes his center chest and it's tied together by string. And his color is red, which is an opposite color to blue to some people. So yeah, you see the rivalry thing going on here. The design train ends with the final cheetah man, Impande. That's the name I'm going to give him. He is officially known as Hercules and fights with his bare hands, but Impande here wields a Nguni shield, which is known to the Zulu people as this term, and I'm so sorry, I'm an American, I can't pronounce that. Sorry, Zulu speaking people. But I have decided to call Impande because he's named after the brother of Shaka and Diangane, a Zulu king, Impande. And in real life, Impande was comparatively more peaceful compared to his other two brothers. I mean, he allegedly allowed his son to rule the Zulu kingdom and do the real work at a part of his reign where he was only king in name. And he also overthrew Diangane but didn't murder him, so that's a plus. But, along with the weapon, him being a shield bearer effectively, like, Impande's just a big teddy bear who's here to help his brothers and just spend time with them and join in the fight. He's all funs and laughs despite the vicious pose I'm trying to give him here in the drawing. Impande was my favorite redesigned cheetah man to draw because he wields a big shield, and so I don't have to draw most of his body, wink wink. No, but for real though, like, I just enjoy my interpretation of Hercules with Impande here because he's such a chill brother. He wields a shield so he protects, Shaka while he makes his shots with his crossbow. And then I see him coming in after Diangane when he gets into some sticky situation and protecting him with his shield because, Diangane, as I described earlier in his segment, is I'm gonna fight you first and ask questions later. So, and Impande is just that chill brother in the group who's just never bothered. Like, Diangane is very jealous of Impande because of how big and imposing his stature is, but Impande is such a chill brother to where he's not even going to point out the times that jealousy causes Diangane to be disrespectful towards him because he's just that chill and like, you know what, I understand, I'm not short like you, so I understand that you're just expressing your frustration. He's just that chill of a brother. Oh my god. But I just see Impande being similar to Ralph in Rise of the TMNT, where he just loves his brothers a lot and does anything he can to protect them and look after them. But yeah, that's my redesigned Cheetah Man, everybody.